You're listening to I Like That Story podcast number 45, The 28-Year-Old Failure. Today's story brought to you by Evolution Consulting, nationwide image professionals for styling, speaking, and stage. An opening question to consider before I tell today's story. What makes a person a failure? Jeremy grew up in a small town. If I were to drive you through this town, you would call it idyllic. But if you were to ask Jeremy, he would call it a dead-end backwater. Jeremy was the oldest of four. His dad was a dairy farmer, a relentless job where the cows don't care if you're sick, they still need to be milked. And the winter weather doesn't care if the water is freeze in the barn and burst the pipes or if the manure handler freezes solid. You still have to plunge your hands into freezing water to fix those waterers. You must chip loose the manure chains despite the wind chill. You've got to milk the cows if you're going to get paid, and you've got to do it twice a day, every day, morning and night, whether you feel like it or not. In Jeremy's case, he did not feel like it. But it was the life he was born to, and he had no choice. He dreamed of getting off the farm, of living the easy life of a town kid, where you didn't have to get up at 5 a.m. and you didn't have to smell like the barn. Jeremy was okay at school, even though he didn't really apply himself, and excellent at sports because he did. His senior year was going to be the big one. He was a star running back, one of the best in school history. Who knew how far he could take that? He had big dreams and plans until his dad got hurt, fell off a stack of bales in the mow and tumbled down through the loft onto the barn floor. He broke his back. No paralysis, thank God, but he was laid up for a solid 8 months, leaving Jeremy to do all the milking and chores himself. Jeremy's plans and dreams were now dashed. Sullen and bitter, he did what he had to do and missed out on the whole football season and the other sports as well. He decided to not go on to school. What was the point? He moved off the farm, got a job at the plant. Every small town has a plant, don't they? Some place where the local kids go to work and the dreams go to die. But he was a pretty good worker, a natural leader. Others in the plant looked up to him. And he was smart, too, a good problem solver, a natural around broken machinery. The boss noticed and took him aside. Jeremy, you should go to school. You have real potential. Tell you what, there's a pretty good community college nearby. You go there, I'll pay for it. And if you do well, I'll pay for whatever other school you need. Jeremy was surprised. He thought about it and then declined. It's too late for me. I'm too old now to start over. Family and friends tried to talk him into giving it another try, but he was stubborn. No, I'm too old. I'm too far behind. I'll never catch up. I am what I am. He was 28 years old. He stayed on at the plant. It's been about 25 years or so now. He still is a likable guy, but you can see he's got a chip on his shoulder, like a guy whose life didn't turn out right, a guy who considers himself a failure. So I'll ask you the same question that I ask myself. What makes a person a failure? Thanks for listening. As you can tell, I believe in the power of a good story. And I tell the stories in this podcast. I tell them through emails. If you want a monthly email including stories and really bad dad jokes, and look me up on my website, ilikethatstory.net. I also speak to area groups. Call me and contact me if you have any questions at all. My name is Jeff Gould, and this is ilikethatstory.net. Until next time, God bless.